Should I be responsible for my child's future? Short answer is no. And that should be the end of this video, but let me say some more. You know, any parent will know that we do worry and we fret and we think about it a lot. You know, what's going to happen to our child when I'm no longer here? What's going to happen to our child, the way things are developing in the world right now? We face a winter that's largely unprecedented in our lifetime, and certainly in the lifetime of our children. We all know that things are falling apart that we took for granted until not that long ago. Both, you know, or all of it, consequences of various environmental collapses that are accruing increasingly. And so, yeah, of course we worry. Of course we want to make sure that we do all we can now so that our children make good choices when they're adults. And taking on that burden adds a tremendous amount of stress to us as parents and to our relationship with our children, as well as to our children. So what to do then? Well, first there's this understanding that we're not in charge in that way, that we're custodians, that we provide a roof over their head, food on the table, a bed to sleep in, and if we can do that, then we've done really well. But what is not uncommon is that we make ourselves responsible for their achievements as well. Are they doing well in school? Do they have enough activities? Do they have the right kind of activities? Are they on track for a job that might provide them reasonable income? You know, maybe we'll all ask their children, what do you want to become when you're an adult? And if they say a clown, well, hopefully we'll be happy about that too, but we might wonder and worry about what that's going to do for them when they're 20, 25 in the world that's ahead of us. So I'd say, you know, divest yourself of that responsibility, which means to put to the child, again, the possibility of them enjoying their own agency, of them making their choices and learning from their mistakes, of them from a very early age, not when they're 20 or 15, but from a very early age, learning to follow their passions and their spark and their gifts, their curiosity, their wonder, even if it takes them to places that we don't understand or we don't approve of. You know, as long as it's not dangerous to them or anyone else, or injurious in some way that matters, that our focus should be to stoke that inner spark, to stoke that inner passion, that guidance, that intuition, what some in North America would call the original instructions, their ability to navigate the world based on a very personal blueprint. So that would be saying, you know, putting the relationship before the achievement. Easier said than done, but it makes a huge difference. You know, the child grows up with both an ability to listen inwards to what lights them up, and also to learn from all the mistakes that come in their way as they pursue that light, as they pursue the passion and the gift and their inner genius. And so there's a subtle, initially, but really important distinction between focusing on the achievements and focusing on the relationship. There's a Professor Peter Grant who wrote a book called Free to Play. It's a really wonderful book where he looks at how parenting appeared to indigenous cultures and the values they held, and how much emphasis they placed on free intergenerational play and self-determination for children, along with other values that were village-minded. And then what happened in agricultural society, sedentary society, and then market liberalism that we find ourselves in today, and how that's affected parenting, so that essentially we have an overwhelming amount of parenting that is similar to school. We get caught up in grades, in the kind of hierarchical climb through the years of attending school. Especially in countries where homeschooling, like Sweden, is forbidden, or even unschooling doesn't exist, of course, here, and in many other countries as well, the possibility to unschool. So in a school system where our children come of age, it's very easy for us to take on the rationale, the logic, and the productivity inherent in the design of the school system. And so we push, perhaps, our children to perform and achieve within that system, of course. And we all know what it looks like for a child to come into the school at age 6 or age 7, and how it affects them, how some of the spark going in one way or another changes. But what we can do as parents is to hold on to the relationship, not the achievement. And to keep stoking that through the school years, through adolescence, and afterwards as well. So try not to be responsible and hold yourself responsible for your child's achievements. It adds stress to the whole family. And instead keep your focus on the relationship. That builds trust over time. All right. If you liked this, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell button and you'll get news of next videos coming up. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.